What is going on? Welcome to the stream. Today we have an exciting video. The VeVeVerse footage is finally out, so we'll be taking a look at that in mixed community reviews across X. And yeah, let's go ahead and just jump right into it. So again, we have a lot to cover. And looking at the OMI token as well. Is the OMI token down? Is it up? We're going to be taking a look at the charts today. And we'll also be taking a look at other tokens in the market as well. So without further ado, let's just dive right into it. All right, let me get my face here pulled up for you on the screen here. And first up, we have the OMI chart. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Not much going on here. This is the last 24 hours. You saw a dip. Now people, I guess, like after the footage was released, they kind of bought, but then it's been kind of a little volatile ever since, and it's rested at 0.00067 right now, so it is quite down from the all-time highs. Looking at the overall picture of where OMI token was and where we are now. But let's go ahead and pop on over to the actual footage here. Now, they released this on Will Goes Meta, his channel over there. So if you are looking at his channel, give him a quick subscribe. He does really good work over there. He's an OG in the community and makes really cool stuff too. He's like handcrafts these cool cards for people in the community. So without further ado, let's hop into it. So let's see if we can get this music pulled up. I don't know if this is copyrighted music or not. So we're actually going to mute this a little bit. Now this is, for reference, we are going to put this at 1080p, 60 frames per second, and we're going to refresh real quick, and then that way we have a better picture of the video here. So again, we're going to play this. Again, this is at 1080p, 60 frames a second, 60 frames per second. And you can kind of see a little bit here. Now let's pause it. You can see the DeLorean, the Kitty Hawk or whatever, the hawk right there, the car. These backgrounds are pretty creative. Now these are, it looks like pictures or something from I'm not sure what that is. That looks like maybe an asset that's not from VeVe and just kind of poured it in. They have the alien poster here, some graffiti. So yeah, there's the Coca-Cola truck just back there. It looks a little empty though. This is just a car scripted is what they're saying here, with a little bit of an effect on the, there you can see the sewer smoke coming out. So you can tell they put, I think this is Tails, he put a lot of time into like customizing this. And you can see the blimp. This, I don't think that's an asset in VeVe. You can see, it looks like the Mandalorian or the, I'm sorry, Boba Fett guarding the entrance. You see the Joker face. I don't think that's a VeVeVerse, a VeVe thing. You can see the Batman who laughs, the James Bond flyer, of course, Bane. I don't know if Bane is even in VeVe yet either. Harley Quinn driving the glider into this building. Boba Fett going backwards. Let's see what's going on here. Looks like the Joker flag, maybe. It says bang. She's kicking Boba Fett and Penguin. Let's see what else is going on here. The Joker. The Joker looks good. So the assets, standalone assets, look good. Arkham. Then you have the Coca-Cola truck with the Joker on it. Interesting. Okay. To be continued. I don't know what's up with that Joker truck. Is that like, oh, they put the Joker over. Okay, so yeah, I see what's going on there. Interesting. Okay, so what's your thoughts about that? I personally am, I don't know. I don't know if this is like where I see myself hanging out in creating stuff like this. Now, it's cool that you can showcase these. I do like that the ability to, like the VeVeVerse demo from Decon, where I think there will be more people doing that than not. Let me see if I can pull up footage from the last VeVeVerse demo. Let's see if I can pull that up here. I don't know if I have a decon or somebody has it. Anyways, the decon footage seemed like it was a little bit better. Let me know in the chat what you think about that. Yeah, so let's go ahead. Let's look at some of the community, what the community is saying over here. This is just the harvesting frog, or just the NFT frog now. It doesn't look like he's very excited about it. We're going to take a look here more at the community as a whole. So I was going to say it. He's disappointed in the VeVeVerse. Not good looking. I mean, the collectibles look 10 times better than the VeVeVerse itself. I do agree on that for sure. I think that the collectibles by themselves look fine. So much they look out of place. The graphic building and animation look totally 2008 PlayStation 3 compared to what we got a digital collectible. These previous previews from Decon and Cavernous YouTube were way better looking than the last video. We can actually look at Cavernous as well. They have footage from their other metaverses. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about all of this. Let's see if I can pull it up here. If I can find Cavernous. Okay, so let's see if we can pull up Cavernous here. This is some of their demo footage. Let's see if we can fast forward this, see if they have a little bit more. Ooh, Neom. Okay, Neom. Neom, Saudi Arabia's future city. I don't know if they have actual footage. Here's some footage. Now, this is where I'm going to get into a little bit of this, is that I think that Cavernous excels in putting assets in different experiences. But the thing is, you have to like have developers build these experiences. And, you know, the engines are what really drives the graphics. It's not the other way around. You know, it's not like, oh my gosh, the graphics look insane, the textures. Well, that's pretty much doing possible to Unity and Unreal Engine. You can make anything look like it has really great graphics using these engines. And that's why they call them engines, because it's powering the, you know, graphics is powering everything behind it, right? But you need these experiences built. And this is where I think Cavernous would excel long term, and where maybe Vivi could excel there too, is putting assets in different experiences. So far, what I've seen from the VeVeVerse is kind of interesting. I think it's too custom, like there's too much. I think you need templates, right? I think you need templates. They need developers to go in and build like entire setup things in there, so you can put your assets into them, like an actual Batcave, kind of like what McFarlane, they kind of have that showroom in McFarlane that is really high fidelity or like high graphic, you know, and their showroom looks pretty good. But even more than that, right? I'm like more grand scale than that, right? You have an entire Batcave. You can perhaps have a party, and I think that's going to be what Vivi should do, or what other, you know, maybe perhaps McFarlane or whoever, maybe they do that too, where you have these environments that are like already built. Could be cool too. Something like this, where it's like, you know, it looks like an apartment there. This is a demo. This stuff is going to be already pre-built. Like, right, these assets are already pre-built for users to do things in there. It didn't sound like that they had the streaming capability yet in Cavernous, from what Dan Crothers and them were saying. Let me take a look at this. Here is the VR. Here's the mixed reality aspect of Cavernous, which pretty much powered by Unity and Unreal, so you can kind of see what's going on. Kind of interesting. This kind of looks like spatial a little bit here. So you got the Ready Player Me avatars. This could be interesting right here. But this is going to have to be like where I think Meta really excels is, I think Meta, you start looking at competition, you know, and in some of these features, social, when you have those ultra high realistic avatars in the future. Ready Player Me, I'm really excited about Ready Player Me because you can customize your avatars to have NFTs on it. That's where I said another area where I think people could excel, perhaps Vivi, perhaps any other platform out there, Artifact or whoever, is having skins on your avatar where you can go anywhere with your avatar, right? I think that's free branding, and I think that makes sense. And I think that's just a good way to do it, where you have like this hype beast drop model where you have fashion, you can drop for avatars. Here's kind of basically what the VeVeVerse was right here, or the Decon demo. It was pretty much like this, with Ready Player Me avatars instead. And this is where I think that this actually looked better, in my opinion, than the VeVeVerse demo that we just saw, because it looks already curated and things like that. You can see the reflection right there. But again, this is the engine that's like pre-baked lighting in Unity. Usually in an Unreal, it's like ray trace lighting and whatnot. But yeah, so you can see, so it's interesting, right? I think the move here is going to be asset interoperability, whether that's Web3 or Web2 at interoperability. I think that's the move here. You can see here, this is an Audi demo with some plain avatars that are just kind of looking around. But yeah, I think this is where I see things going, is asset interoperability, where you have highly curated, highly immersive experiences. Kind of like this could be something. I don't know if this is going to be enough for everybody to just be in there, outside of like just meeting up. I think this could be obviously this is going to be like a showroom, I would imagine, where you have your default like home or whatever. And I think that's what David Yu is trying to say. So it's going to be interesting, right? But I think asset interoperability is where things are going to go, or should go, where I don't know if these brands are going to, how long it's going to take for these brands to sign off on this. So that's kind of my thoughts. He said, so Jess the Harvesting Frog looks, he said, kind of horrific, to be honest. That's what he said. That being said, I expect the quality to be able to rise with better texture quality and script, since we can tether to Unreal Engine. Yeah, Unreal Engines, and just anybody can develop an Unreal Engine. You can buy assets in there. Not only that, like in the future, like you have Fortnite now, you can develop in Fortnite Builder. I think there's potential there for games. As shown in Cavernous Video, the VeVeVerse can hold better quality than that, and that's not great to display of it because it portrayed the contrary. I regret they shared that. Interesting. Okay, so let me pull up some other comments though here, and see what other people are saying in the community. I know Gorillionaire. All right, so we have the homie Asian Dan here. That's his Twitter handle for context. His real name is Daniel Lee. He said the updated VeVeVerse demo was in line with expectations and improvement from the Anaheim demo. It represents a step in the right direction in adding utility and meaning to our collectibles. Keep expectations realistic and practical. Don't let footers take away from the vision. Yeah, I don't know if I would agree with this, because this was supposed to be on the roadmap, VeVeVerse City and land and all these things, right? And I think Cavell said it, is like they kind of promised these features and these roadmap updates. So I don't know if I agree with this, like, don't let the fudders take away from the vision. Yeah, I don't know if it's FUD more as just what VeVe had said, right? I think people are confusing FUD with what VeVe said and kind of didn't deliver on, right? I think that's where people are just having an opinion. So I think it's okay to have an opinion about what you think about the VeVeVerse. All right. So I don't like that people are just saying everything's FUD if it's like they don't like the VeVeVerse, or they don't like what they're seeing, or they have just a regular opinion, right? And I think this was always going to be the case, right? When you have something that has graphics in it, you look at gaming. Gaming is highly controversial in gaming, because you have gamers that love a game, and then you have the other side of the aisle that like, I hate this game. But that doesn't necessarily take away from the game itself, right? So it's not like this is all just bad. it's just a start, right? This is where they're kind of starting out. Now, however, I do think it's going to take them a long time because you need millions and millions of dollars to, to really develop a big time game or a big time. Cavell loves it. That's all that matters. Shrek and Hank says, yeah, I don't know if I buy that, man. I don't know if I buy Cavell. Like, I don't know if the harvesting frogs over here, sounds like something Cavell would say right here. I think Cavell, I want Cavell on the channel. I kind of want to interview Cavell. What do you guys think about that? Should I interview Cavell, and kind of press him about some things that have been going on and his opinions on his channel? I'm very curious. I want to just pick some questions and ask Cavell, questions maybe that normally he wouldn't answer himself on his channel. I'm curious where he's at, not only just like in VeVe, but really as a person. I think Cavell is actually really smart. I think people don't give Cavell enough credit. He's got his own method of going about content creation where I think people don't understand how content really works. It's just his path. That's what he chose. That's his model for his channel, and his content, right? And that's not my model, but I respect it. I know what he's doing, and I think he's a lot more intelligent than people give him credit for. I think Cavell's really smart. That's just my opinion, but I don't know. I don't know if I buy now. Cavell hasn't shown us updated footage yet, so I'm curious to see what he'll say. I'm happy to see him back though in the community. I think My Collectible said, if anybody's talking about VeVe, whether it's good, bad, or whatever, at least people are talking about it. So that's something there as well. Slider says VeVe reset expectations a year ago, and VeVe's not a AAA studio. It can take those companies a decade to develop those graphics. No other collectible app is doing this right now. I don't know. I mean, I don't think I agree with that though. Let's take a look at Virtua. So Virtua is doing exactly what VeVe's doing, but their showroom's actually really good. It's AAA, or at least AA, and they have brands. So they are doing, and they're focused around gaming too. So it's a little bit more, and they've integrated other blockchains, which I recommended VeVe should do a long time ago. I said that they should integrate other blockchains and become more, chain agnostic. And yeah, I think that could be an interesting model. But yeah, you have Virtua. They have really good graphics here. You have a little, you need a little bit more anti-aliasing on some of these collectibles, but for the most part, they have a mobile app already. They've had a mobile app for a long time. You could broadcast these on your phone. They have a showroom. OGs in the community are very well aware, like even Foster Hilt has Virtua land, collectibles, and all that stuff. So it's not like this is a competitor, if you will. It's just that they've been developing about the same time, or even, in some cases, some features longer than VeVe, like the kind of AAA showroom experience, if you will. I don't know if I can pull it up, though. The thing is that they need more brands in Virtua. So that's kind of their kind of pitfall, if you will. And Cardano is not necessarily my favorite chain because I like Cardano. It's just that it's just not the best experience for a mainstream user. So that's kind of where I have a little bit of a hiccup with using Cardano with their wallets. Their wallets are kind of terrible, and it's very confusing and clunky. But if, Cardano, don't sleep on them. I think long term it'll be fine. I just think that perhaps they should do center around. Now, Cardano has a big community, so I get why they were trying to go after this. But anyways, they have collectibles here. You can see they got some art. They got these VFlex. VFlex used to be pretty big in the last bull run. Collectibles. Let's go comics. They got comics. They have some, soccer players. They even have Formula One somewhere. See, comics right there, magazines. They just need a little bit more here. They need more brands to really compete here. But this could be a viable option for brands to drop on here or even experiment on Cardano. But yeah, Virtua Collectibles, look at this Bored Ape. It's going for $300. So it's not like things are necessarily cheap over here. And there's a community. But this is kind of a cool one here. Bored Ape Yacht Club, 3 asset model. Yeah, you can see. Look at him. Look at him. That's pretty cool. So there is other companies definitely doing this, and this is what I suggested. I suggested Basie, like that VeVe should have partnered with them like 2 years ago or a year ago. And this is kind of cool. It's not like exactly like a Bored Ape, obviously. It's like their own version. I think this is pretty cool though, right? Like if you were into Virtua and you're into like the NFT space, you definitely want to collect this guy. This guy's pretty cool. Like I would definitely, if this was cheaper and I had the liquidity, I'd definitely probably pick one up if I was really big into Virtua. I do like Virtua. I think they have potential there long term. Their token's up 23% in the last 24 hours. Market cap 43 million. So they've been going up consistently over time. Let's see here. Last 90 days. There's definitely been potential here. 17 cents. Now it's up to 36 cents. Wow, this thing shot up. Look at this. Shot up the last 24 hours. Anyways, okay, let's continue on into some. Let me take a look here at the chat. Virtua is not a collectible app? Nah, I mean, it has collectibles right there on the screen. We just pulled that up. So that's not, and it has comics. So I don't think you can't really say that it's not a collectibles app. So I would disagree with that. They have had collectibles on there just as long as VeVe. They have King Kong, Godzilla, and all that stuff. So similar model for sure. They developed over a year before VeVe. I'm talking about a strictly collecting app. I think you can. So VeVe has gaming too, though. They're trying to do Tengaku or whatever and integrate OMI token. So that's what my suggestion of that has always been with VeVe, is that they should do a chess game with pieces using like Batman Black and White mini games to make it a sticky experience. And I've always said that. I said that for years and years. And look at Virtua. They're doing that. They're doing gaming. I think that's fine. I think you can do collectibles. You can do gaming, because these are all converging into one. That's what I've always been saying here on the channel. If you've been watching, metaverse gaming and all these digital experiences are converging into one, including AI. We're going to look at that too. There's actually pretty interesting stuff I want to show you guys other than these topics is AI specifically. Let me see if I can pull it up here off to the side real quick. Okay, so this says Meet Genie, a research preview of an all-new kind generative 3D foundation model. Create 3D things in seconds in Discord. Look at this. You can create assets now with AI in seconds in Discord. Look at this. This is crazy. Look at that. Dogs, headphones, all kinds of stuff in seconds. So that's going to be wild. I mean, this has been my thesis for a while, is that AI was going to do exactly this. You can create assets in seconds. The problem is when people are creating all these different assets and all these different things, there's only one way you can actually own them in the metaverse, and that's going to be as an NFT on the blockchain, right? So that's going to be where I think things are going to go. But yeah, this is crazy. Look at this. Look at this. This is nuts. A hamburger, a cookie burger. Oh, wow. Okay. Endless possibilities. Well, let me know what you think about that. That's insane. I know that was a little off topic, but I had to bring this up. This is where things are going. AI is going to take over, man. And there's only one way you can own things in the metaverse. And that's going to be NFTs. All right. Let's see here. Gorillionaire, let me pull up his post. He had a lot of people on his post talking about the VeVeVerse. I think, let me see where, I think he might have deleted it. Did he? I think he deleted it. Okay, I think he deleted. Did he delete it? I think he deleted it. Okay, so there might have been too many negative comments on here. Yeah, the Gorillionaire actually posted the footage. but it looks like he deleted it. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So I was going to read those comments there to get a fair shake on being objective. Let me see who else posted it. Gosh, who else posted it? Trying to think. I think Tails posted it, but I was trying to get a more objective shake here because I know a lot of people that are just going to be non-objective about it, commenting on his. Let's see here, though. Compensate the creators, send them some sub 40s before the fee to transfer kicks in. Brown Speedlish, okay. Truly inspiring. Well done, man. So yeah, shout out to Tails for Buck says, my eyes burn pudding. Okay. All right. Yeah, so I figured you get a lot of just flowers on this one. But yeah, I guess Gorillionaire deleted his... Okay, so I was trying to get a little bit more community consensus here. Let me know in the chat if you like it or not. See, the VeVeVerse will look much better when they release Unreal. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, Unreal is just kind of a no-brainer. Any asset can look really good in Unreal. It's going to come down to what can we do inside of these experiences, and I think that's where we'll see a lot more, ultimately competition, and I think that's why I keep saying it's going to go back to asset interoperability. Look at this metaverse here. This is an example. Like this is now it's kind of a world in a city, so it's not necessarily like a quote unquote metaverse, but like nothing really is right now anyways. Really a metaverse is just interoperable, persistent experiences in my opinion. And I think we're just seeing the baby like version of it. So I think the metaverse is already here. I think people are just trying to pull, split hairs what the metaverse is. I'm like, it's already here. We're already like, I'm streaming to you guys right now on a digital screen in some people's living rooms. Like, how is that not, like, how are we not like kind of already in the metaverse? Anyways, that's a whole different story. But yeah, look at this. The graphics are pretty insane. That's Wilder World. There's other ones out there too. Obviously Meta's been developing some pretty insane stuff. I think long-term, those will be pretty insane as well. All right, let me see here if we can get some other sentiment here. Let me scroll through. Yeah, the GTA Gastau, man. Gastau's not even tweeting VV stuff anymore. Interesting. Let's see if we can find anything on the feed. Okay, no. All right, hang on. Let me find another comment here. Again, we're going to do... Amelie says, there are people who've just sat in OMI for 18 months, never learned anything else, never seeked other incredible opportunities in the space while waiting. That's sad. Hey, Amelie calls me like a FUD guy or whatever, but like his comments are always way worse than mine. But since he's a space host, somehow he gets a pass. But that's another story in the community. But Amelie said it, not me. But look at this. Yeah, that's his comment about utility. I think that's probably why the Akomi token's been dropping down. Comment in the chat, though. Is there other good takes on the token or the VeVeVerse? I know there's mixed reviews out there. Some people excited. As you saw in Tails, some people were really excited for Tails. I'm pretty happy for him. It's a lot of time. I think there's ways people can get back to Tails for doing that. Jesus Queen, says Nasara. What's going on, Nasara, man? I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you in chat. Good morning, says SoCal Omi Homie. Hey man, good GM. The Bored Ape will look cool in the VeVeVerse. See, no, I mean, it would look cool. I'm not gonna lie. If it was high, if it looked good. But we don't know what assets are going to look like, because if it's taken them a while to develop and to upgrade those assets in the VeVeVerse already, does that mean will all the assets look good, right? That we port into the VeVeVerse. Another thing is spatial. I think spatial got a lot of flack originally, but there's a lot you can do in spatial, so that's going to be kind of a low-key competitor. I think I think this is where asset interoperability really would shine. But I mean, spatial has come a long way. I don't know if you guys have looked at spatial in a while. Look at this Star Wars flight simulator. They have like all these games, Gauntlet, Scully's Revenge. I mean, look at these games that people are creating in here. This is where the competition is going to lie, is attention. Will VV have the attention of people? Mostly only up. That's funny, man. I don't know if you guys saw that viral game on Twitch called Only Up, but it looks like they have their own version. That's pretty cool. I kind of want to look at Star Wars Flight Simulator real quick. Let's jump into that. But yeah, this is kind of the competition out in the metaverse space. And I do think what Spatial is doing, Ready Player Me, is they are dropping IP and brands. You know, they've dropped on the Web 2 side of things. Now, they're not NFTs, but they are digital collectibles technically. And an NFT is a non-fungible token minted out on the blockchain, whereas digital collectible is, stored on a centralized server. So those are things that are similar, I think, to VV and kind of Web 2 collectibles, so to speak. So that's another kind of thing to look at as well. But yeah, look at this. This is pretty crazy, man. Look at that. So let's hop in Luke's speeder right here. Fly boy, fly. Let's go. Jump to lift off. All right, but where do I go? All right, where do I go though? And how do I become? Okay, talk to 3PO. But yo, this is pretty cool. But you get the idea. Let's exit out of that. Let's take a look here again. Look through the footage. What was your favorite part about the VeVeVerse? Let me know in the comments what's your favorite part about the VeVeVerse. The VeVeVerse looks good enough. The negative is the lack of OMI utility, and their prior statements about integration seems irresponsible now. As a big company, they should have considered regulation. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. All right, here we go. Take a look at this footage. On the screen. Right there. CC Cavell is a clown, so are you. Thanks for the engagement. Appreciate you for tuning in. Whoever's burner account, we know that's a burner account. Yeah, never mind. What would I be doing in that space? I love AI. My investments are up 2x in this bear market. Yeah, there's a lot of good in AI investments that went up pretty solidly. AI, also mobile LiDAR scanning is a double-edged sword. Scan your pet for VeVeVerse, cool, but we can scan physical, so why need to buy digital when you can scan physical? Interesting take on that. Well, I mean, it depends if you want to actually own it. Like, it's got to be a blockchain, self-custody, interoperable asset, and that's true digital ownership. I think in that, when you compare that to scanning in just a Web 2 kind of, object, that's fine and cool, but you kind of don't own it, right? You just have a copy of it. So there's a difference of a copy. It's like you have a birth certificate and then you have a copy. You have a real one and then there's just a copy. So it's like you have a copy of the deed to your home, or do you own the real deed, right? And that's where blockchain is superior is you have superior ownership. And I think at a fundamental level, people just don't understand that yet, which is okay. I think we'll get there. I think bridges, I think these, now these companies, what they're doing with VeVe is that they are good bridges, I think. I think that in terms of bridging Web 2 to Web 3, these digital collectible companies are doing a really good job. You look at Cryptoids, you look at VeVe, you look at McFarlane. I think it's an easy way to grasp like collecting in Web 3. So I think that's where things excel. But you kind of want to put the gas pedal down a little bit to showcase the actual true benefits of digital ownership, right? And I think that's where companies are going to excel in the long run, as well as asset interoperability and different experiences. And I know people knock Quid, but Quid actually does have, you can mint some of, granted some of their collectibles, but you can take them into other experiences like Sandbox. And it's just a small showcase. I mean, they don't have anything like super grandiose by any means. But I think long term, that's where things will go. That's just my opinion. And I know people like argue like, no, it's not going to be that way. It's going to be like Web 2, basically, Web 2.5. And I literally don't think that's going to be the case, because you're starting to see account extraction. You're starting to see gas abstraction, basically ways to onboard Web 2 users that really don't know the underlying technology well. And then they have an option to where you can self-custody to your own wallet. That's where things are going to go, in my opinion. Just because, you have to be able to own your own stuff. If you're buying digital rights and digital things, you need to be able to actually own them. And I think that's where things are going to go. And long term, I think that there's options out there. I know these assets are too large of a file to store on a decentralized system or IPFS. But I do think long run we'll see solutions out there. I know Filecoin is a pretty good solution out here to decentralized way to store. Granted, it's not permanent, but it's the closest thing you can get to decentralized storage out there as any other way to store data. And there's ways you can actually have perpetuating contracts or perpetuating file storage is just like you just top up every month, right? And it's probably not like insanely hard to do, but that could be one way companies could store on the blockchain, quote unquote, is using like Filecoin to store their assets. That's one manner, right? There's other ways out there too. Like I've seen ideas of like perpetuating DAOs that like basically top off their Filecoin, so you like basically indefinitely store assets on Filecoin like forever, as long as the DAO is around and people are contributing. So that's an idea there. Interesting, right? It's all interesting. This 3D AI tool looks too good. Yeah, it looks insane, man. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So mobile LiDAR scanning. So let's pull this up. All right, so I think that LiDAR possibly could be used in the future to like scan in yourself right here. Once it gets like powerful enough and you have other sensors probably working in conjunction here, I think we're going to get to a place where it looks like this. Excuse me. Where you have ultra high realistic avatars and you just scan yourself in, or whether that's like, maybe it's not maybe with your phone in the short term, but perhaps like a photo booth where you just go, somebody has like the technology to do it. They charge like $50 to $100 to, scan you in. I think that's where things could go in the short to medium term, and then long term where you'll just be able to scan yourself in with your phone, using a stand or whatever. So this is where it's very interesting, right? Look at this. This is kind of goofy, but anyways, that's the kind of the competition out there, where I think it'd be nice if you could port your collectibles, port your NFTs into those experiences too, where you have that asset interoperability. And that's where I'm trying to get at is you'll have all these experiences And you really do want your assets to be ported over. And I get that, like, you'll have to have some kind of, like, all these assets can't be just ported anywhere because they have to be compatible with that experience. But that's where I think Cavernous can kind of come in and really help facilitate that manner of asset interoperability in the Web 2 sense. But we'll see. Cavernous is so new. I don't know if they're going to have like they have this probably a small team behind Cavernous, and it'll probably take a long time. But we'll see. I mean, it's an interesting concept. Illuvium announced PvP date. That's awesome. To me, the VeVeVerse is digital diorama. My favorite thing about the VeVeVerse is how the light beam goes to the solid objects. Yeah, not too excited about that. That looked a little silly, I'm not gonna lie. The light going through the object. What's up, Kyle? Always tuned in. Hey, let's go. Anyways, yeah, like, what's some honest opinions down there? Do you think it's gonna take a long time for the VeVeVerse to really be built out? You do have a lot of other opportunities out here, and that's another thing too, is your reward risk ratio, and that's where I start looking at things. I think let's go ahead and I don't even know if I follow him anymore. Yeah, I was gonna pull up West Vibes comment. He said if OMI misses the bull run, at least we have 4 years to accumulate. And I'm like, man, that's a long time to be accumulating. And then by that time, you'd have like competitors doing a bunch of other stuff too. So I don't agree with that one either. But yeah, you have a gaming. Let's go ahead and click on this one, and we'll show you kind of some things, put some things on your radar as well you might not known about. So Vulcan Forge, we're going to pull up Vulcan. Maybe Veracity. I don't know if Veracity has a metaverse. Let's see. Star Atlas looks pretty good. Other Side is another one. They partner up with Gucci, so I do think Bored Ape Yacht Club is going to onboard a lot of brands into their metaverse or immersive experience, whatever you want to call it. To me, it's just a metaverse. I mean, I don't care what people think. It's metaverse, man. Come on. Network, that's one. I haven't really heard from Network, though, in a long time. Where else? Where is... I don't know why Seedify is not in here. Seedify's building theirs. Let's go to Vulcan Forged. Veracity. Network. This might crash my stream. All right. So Vulcan Forge, they have a lot of games. Web3 gaming made easy. They also have Metascapes. So this one might actually crash the stream here. It's a pretty intensive website. They have Sci-Fi World, Cartoon World, Fantasy World. So this is a Web3, Pro Web3 VR and AI experience. And it is using Elysium, or they have Elysium making it happen. Skybridge. Anthony Scaramucci is one of the guys behind this one, or at least an advisor, I think. He was on that crypto show or whatever. But let's take a look here.
Sapiens, some of you might be able to recognize me. Yes, that's right. I am a digital clone.
All right, I'm going to pause the audio because I don't know if we're copyrighted, so we'll give it just a minute.
So why am I here?
All right, we're going to fast forward through this. It's the good stuff.
Is your character to your preference, and even elements, super cool skins, and living inside it is truly fantastical. Check it out!
So that looks pretty good. I mean, the graphics look good. Now, this is a trailer. Always take your trailers with a grain of salt because the graphics aren't nearly as always good as like these trailers. It looks pretty cool though. So you got the roller coaster. This has UGC too. So if you're a vault builder, like you can build these like entire like worlds, and I think they give you a cut of that too. So I think this is where a lot of the competition is going to be as well, is like these experiences that are giving creators like a cut, right? So yeah, that's Metascapes from Vulcan Forged. Pretty big, pretty notable project now in the Web3 space. Let's see if Seedify, I think it's mainly on their X account. So let's go ahead and go over here to X. Media. All right, let's see if they have any footage right here. Oh, you know what? This is not the, this is just going to be their token. Let me go ahead. Head on over to their actual Metaverse account. So this is called Seed World. Shape your world. Like, that's pretty insane right there. Like, you can just hover over sand and make it turn it into a mound. Now, granted, these are all like powered by either like Unity, Unreal, or something like that. So this is just the possibility of what's possible with these engines. So it's not like they are like, now this is cool though. The graphics on making this UGC, this is really cool. Right there. But yeah, that's like another one doing some stuff. Veracity. Okay, so Veracity I don't think has one. I think this is just a ecosystem. Okay, so they don't have one. Network or Network. I haven't heard from them in a while. But they were also doing a metaverse. Let's pull up this one. It's got like a world. Pretty cool stuff. I know Earth 2 is a thing, but I never dabbled in Earth 2. I just wasn't into the like that kind of land. Like there's just too many metaverses with land, so I don't know. I just don't like that kind of stuff, I guess. It's not my cup of tea. I like kind of more the gamey kind of like experiences that like make it more of an immersive experience. There's another one too. I'm trying to think off of the top of my head that was really cool. Anyways, there's quite a few out there. It's going to be interesting where things are going to go. Gosh, I'm going to try to think of the other experiences out there. Jack Mouster says the demo was pretty hard to watch. Decent trailer direct from Vivi would have gone a long way rather than using the Vault Builder talent for the first look. Hope it gets much better, to be honest. Upland. Yeah, Upland is one of those. I'm trying to think of a high graphic, like a really good graphic one, though. Not Earth 2, not Upland. Upland's been around for a while. Gosh. Anyways. I probably will not remember it. And I'll remember it as soon as I end the stream. That's usually what happens. Let's see if I can go to categories and find it. Let's see, gaming. Just click on the gaming category. Anyways, you get the picture. Yeah, I wish, going back to Jack's comment, I do wish that they had hired developers to maybe build something, like people that have experience in building assets and having, building immersive experiences and things like that. Nothing against vault builders or anything like that, but I guess more like gaming devs, like have actual gaming devs build some things. and kind of stage things. I thought that's kind of the direction that they're going in. I didn't know they're going to like rely on the vault builders to like showcase the VeVeVerse. I thought they were going to actually possibly hire game developers or engineers to like build a template. I think that could have been a better way to approach it, possibly. But yeah, it's cool that you can customize. It's cool that they showcase that. My litmus test would be, David, use that in pitch to future IP. Pitch what? Like, what would he use to pitch? So, Cat, let me home. You're not sure if I follow. Okay, so yeah, so we got lots of other tokens out here too to explore. I'm gonna try to find that one metaverse I was trying to think of. If I can find it. Oh yeah, so you have Virtua Collect too with their showroom. I showcased a couple of those. Wilder World as well. Everdome's another one. Everdome, I believe. I'm not sure what Medicaid is. I'm not sure if I looked into that one just yet. And you start getting into these like micro cap coins, but there could be potential down there. You never know. A lot of people just pay attention to OMI and all that stuff, but I mean, there's a lot of potential out there in the market. Let's see, Spaceport. So this one's pretty insane. Everdome, the first hyper realistic metaverse. Download, so you got to download it. Let me see if they have a demo though. Let's see if they have a demo. There's a few out there. Okay, let's see what this looks like. Everdome Spaces. You got social, maybe it looks like exclusive to Everdome land holders. So they also have a spaceport. So this looks like a crib where you can go. I'm going to see if they have the spaceport. You got that guy. Graphics look good. Let's see if they have the spaceport though. They have like an outside. So this must be a little bit newer stuff that they've just recently launched. But you also have the OM3. So let's take a look at this. OM3 Metaverse Alliance. Here's probably where I could find a little bit more on some other metaverses. You can join the alliance if you're supporting the Web3 standards. So this is like all the metaverses building towards interoperability. So it says OMA3 is a collaboration of Web3 metaverse platform creators. Our goal is to ensure virtual land, digital assets, ideas, and services are highly interoperable between platforms and transparent to all communities. The OMA3 is an open to all Web3 metaverse builders. So you have Dapper Labs, Alien Worlds, Animoca Brands, of course, Forge, Decentraland. These are all like metaverses or digital experiences. Metaverse Japan, Near Protocol, Minify, Rune. Rune's a new one that's coming up. The Sandbox, Virtua right there. There's Virtua. Upland. There's Upland right there. SoCal homie. Style Protocol is really cool. Actually, this is from a Neo Tokyo citizen. We got to check this one out. If you have NFTs outside of VV, this one's really cool. You can turn basically your PFP. So if you have like PFPs or something like that, you can, I think it's like only, you only need like $80 or I don't know where their token is priced at right now, but back then it was only like, you only needed to hold $80 of style coin. And they basically make all these crazy assets for you to be portable into like Sandbox and Decentraland. So basically you can see here, there's two different styles. There's this one, perhaps that would work on, Decentraland. Then you have one over here like Sandbox. But then if you look closer, you have This guy using his helmet as a AR filter, which is really cool. So if you have PFPs outside of VV, you can basically sign up for this, and it's like really cool. So this is kind of really cool. I mean, I can't say enough about this. I haven't done it yet. I want to, and I need to, and I've been meaning to, because I want to turn my PFP into like a metaverse, like citizen that can be ported into like multiple different, metaverses. And they have a list here. Let's see, worlds. I don't know how they do Fortnite. That's pretty interesting. But it says Roblox, Crypto Voxels, The Sandbox, Cosmic Factions, Decentraland, Ultiverse, Somnia, Mona, Med Arrow. So it works with a lot of like kind of the more popular metaverses. Mona is one of those out there. And yeah, they're partners, as you can see. Pretty cool stuff. But yeah, that's a little bit more on that end. Magic Eden and many more. Okay, so that, let's see here let's go back to the chat. See, I wonder how many game devs VV now has on their team. I know they have been hiring lately. Yeah, I saw that they're hiring contractors. I think it's Cavell that put out a video that showed somebody talking about that they're like mainly just outsourcing. But those were like, you had a senior engineer, but does that mean the previous senior engineer doesn't work at VV anymore? So they're having to rehire for those positions. So there's like a lot of, I don't know. If you look at it, is like, does that mean they're just like their senior engineer quit and they're having to hire a new one? Or are they actually hiring more people? So it's kind of like you have to balance like the turnover with what's actually being hired as well. So I think a lot of people like haven't really thought of that, I guess. And I'm like, wait a minute, like, are they retaining their talent? So that's something I definitely look at for sure too. But yeah, you can kind of see the OMA3 if you're familiar, or now you're familiar with that. If you didn't know, you can find some of these other experiences. It's kind of a good place if you want to like research and check out some of these other things. My Neighbor Alice, this one's interesting. I think this is like an AI avatar that you can use on like social media. Basically, it's like it basically analyzes you and is like I believe this is what it is. Let's see, Alpha Season, immerse yourself. Lumalin, okay, I'm not sure. Become a Lando. Okay, I may have not looked into this one in a while. I'll have to look into this one again, but I saw their token was actually doing really well in the gaming category. Looks like a cute little metaverse thing. Pretty interesting. I'm gonna have to check this one out later. But yeah, you can always like come to this website and you can check out some of the other projects that are like building towards kind of that open Web3 interoperable metaverse. So I think that's a pretty cool website to check out other projects and things like that too. Everdome, I don't think I'll be able to pull up their footage of their spaceport. So let's see. You have to download the entire experience. Oh, let's go. Let's see. They have YouTube. Okay, they haven't linked it correctly. Let's see. See if we can find it. AmazeX. I'm getting an ad for AmazeX. That's hilarious. If you're OGs in the VV community or OMI, you know who AmazeX is. That's funny. I'm getting an ad for them. Okay, so... All right, here we go. I think I might have found something here. So this is Everdome. I don't know if their music is copyrighted or not, so we're going to pause that. Pretty cool, though. It's like you got the glass tubes, the spaceport, the ultra high realistic like waterfall coming off the back. Life in a conceptual Mars and space exploration. Star Atlas kind of looks like Star Atlas a little bit. Star Atlas is pretty cool. The water looks really good in this experience. Your gateway to interplanetary, blah, blah. So you get the picture. There's dome right there. Another immersive experience and what have you. They have over 100, so now adding more, losing. That's a lot though, 100. That's like Illuvium levels. You know, Illuvium is a AAA game. Yeah, it'll be interesting. You know, this is just the beginning as well. But I don't, however, looking, you know, the VeVeVerse could do well long-term for sure. It might take a while, you know, if they truly have, so where's people getting the 100 people though? Like, I wonder, I don't know if I've seen that. Is that like, does anybody have a source for that information? Or is that what people are just saying randomly? Another thing to me is I don't think they'll be able to have OMI utility at all in the VeVeVerse. I think it's going to be, it doesn't sound like they'll have OMI integrated in there anytime soon, just because the SEC and all that stuff. So I don't know if they'll have OMI integrated into the VeVeVerse anytime soon. And then land, I don't think land is going to be a thing. I know Dr. of Stuff was saying that it's not off the table and they're going to do apartments, and it's kind of like pending, but that pending could be a very, very, very long time. It could be like 10 years before we see any clear regulation around that. So yeah, they have over 100. So yeah, I'm curious to what is going on if they have 100. What does 100 mean? Does that count the studios? Does that count in-house employees? What does that count? They both saying it, OMI, not the native token of the VeVeVerse. Yeah, it sounds like they'll have to do like gems in the VeVeVerse or something like that, where you have like in-game quote unquote tokens or in-game, you know, like gems, for example. I don't think we'll have the OMI token. Yeah, so I saw him kind of clarify on that as well. That's not going to be necessarily the case. They have regulation pending and all that stuff. So, and Gary Gensler has had no indication that he's going to wrap things up anytime soon. So I don't know if we'll get anything in the not so distant future. Counts everything, including subs, MCP points, currency. Okay, so MCP points will have maybe something to do with those finally. Yeah, that's good. I mean, if MCP points, man, I know a lot of people are waiting to spend those. It's been a couple years. I know that they had that in their like roadmap and their white paper that you'd be able to use these points, and there'd be like these like boxes and all kinds of stuff. So I know people have been waiting literal like 3 or 4 years for that for sure. Counts everything. Okay, I just read that. So yeah, I know people are excited to use those points. If they can calculate those in the app correctly, that'd be awesome. I saw some people having trouble with that. So hopefully people can spin those here pretty soon. I know a lot of people have been waiting on that. I'm more curious to see, man. You know what I'm more excited about is like going to Johnny Dunn's showroom. I'm not gonna lie, like I think that's one of the main things I've been waiting on this whole time is to see Johnny Dunn's showroom, the OG. Hopefully he still has all of his collectibles, but yeah, I'm excited to see some of my old friends in there. I know a couple of people that have been like stacking for a long time. I'm more curious to go in their like their personal showroom. I don't necessarily care that if it's like a crazy immersive experience or not. I just want to kind of like, you know, if we're in there at the same time looking at these collectibles, I think that's kind of cool. However, like I probably won't be in there all day. I'll probably be playing like Call of Duty or like Illuvium or like Web3 games or whatever. There's a lot of games out there now in the Web3 space, so I'll probably be doing that. You know, collecting these game NFTs, and checking out some of these other metaverse experiences as well. Sandbox, you know, playing different games out here. That's just personal. That's just what I'm doing as a gamer, is playing some of these games and trying them out, testing them out, and what have you. So that's what I'll be kind of doing. But yeah, in my like spare time, I want to see Johnny Dunn's showroom. I like I don't know about you. I think there's a couple other people that like have really good collections out there that I would definitely check out for sure. I don't know, but let me know what you guys think. Do you guys see yourself being in the VeVeVerse for a long time? Do you see yourself creating all these custom, like, different things in the VeVeVerse? Or do you see it more like a casual, like, hey, let's go to Johnny Dunn's showroom, go hang out over there and, just shoot it? Now, I don't know if they're going to have like streaming or social in there right off the bat. So that's going to be something I'm definitely going to be looking for when they release it to more testers. Now, testers they're only going to introduce like 100, 200 beta testers in here in this end of the quarter. So I don't know if we'll actually get to see too much. And I don't know if those testers will be able to show even more footage or if you have to sign an NDA. So there's questions I have on that end as well. I think at this point, people are just wanting to be in there just to be in there because people have just been waiting so long. So it's like, you might as well just let us in. I think people are just like, just let me in the freaking VeVeVerse. I don't care what it looks like. Just let me in the freaking VeVeVerse. That's how I feel, at least. And I know a lot of people feel that way too. No, I will create showrooms like McFarlane, but I'm more bullish on AR, so casual on VV. Yeah, I think I think I agree with that too. I think it's cool. Like if they have it fully integrated with the AR or VR, where you can put on the headset and you can see people walking around and hover. I think that's pretty cool. I think that the AR VR has more potential than the actual like AAA. I don't think they're gonna ever get to a point where it's like rivaling like Meta or anything like that. I think it's just gonna be cool to see an AR like you're saying. I think that's where more people like, especially the MetaQuest 3. I think the MetaQuest 3 has done a really good job of showcasing that, like Mark Zuckerberg, what he's showing what's possible with the MetaQuest 3. I think the Vision Pro is too expensive for everybody. So I think a lot of people are just going to opt into the MetaQuest 3. I think it looks really great. The graphics are good. It's good enough and showcases what's possible. So MetaQuest 3, I think, is going to dominate. And I think that's where a lot of people are going to have their aha moments. And I think that's where it's going to click for a lot of people, is the MetaQuest 3. So that's been my thesis around MetaQuest 3 specifically. And we're starting to see that play out. A lot of good reviews came back once they released those to the public. And a lot of tech reviews were really good. I mean, you had bearish ones from the MetaQuest 2, the MetaQuest, but the MetaQuest 3 got pretty good reviews. And we're talking about like really critical people, right? In the tech space. And they're like, well, it's almost there or better. Some people said this was really good, showcasing what's possible. So I'm pretty excited about the MetaQuest 3. I know people thought Apple was going to save their bags, but the MetaQuest 3 is just better in terms of affordability and price point. Apple coming into the space only lends credibility to the space, in my opinion. But I do think long term, Apple's going to obviously crush it. I mean, it's Apple, right? They put out premium products. The cool touch it with your fingers and like zoom in, zoom out. I think like productivity wise, I would definitely want an Apple headset more than I want the MetaQuest 3. But if I'm gaming and I'm having fun, casual entertainment, I'm going MetaQuest 3 all day. But if I'm going like maybe for graphics, maybe for productivity, I'm going for that Vision Pro if I want to put more coin into it. But yeah, that's MetaQuest 3 all day though. That's going to win the versus scenario in my opinion. Let's see, by having less than 10K of users will access based on announced release cadence. Yeah, I mean, 10K it's interesting. I know they're going to be watching the data, testing the servers, slow release, trying to hype it up. It's just a strategy. I think it's more of a marketing thing, how they're rolling it out. Possibly server, maybe they have maybe the server's not capable of that many people all at once without it crashing. I'm not sure. But we'll see. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I feel like if they do have the capability, just why not just let everybody into the decon, experience that we all saw. I think that's okay. I think that's fine. And I think it just gives people stuff to share in the bear market. Otherwise, they kind of risk risk missing the entire bull market if they're too slow. And that's probably where a lot of people are concerned with what's going on with OMI token. And yeah, it just doesn't seem like the bleeding. I don't know that. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the OMI token. Do you think there's going to be any catalyst anytime soon to help the OMI token out at all? Or do you guys think that people are, I mean, obviously Randy's going to buy OMI token no matter what. Like, it doesn't matter what the price is. He could buy the top and think that that's a good move. But I'm asking people that are not like super biased, what their opinions are. So let me know what you think about that. OMI token, do you think anything's going to help the OMI token out? It doesn't look like that's going to be the case here anytime soon, in my opinion. But let me know in the comments. Am I wrong there in thinking that? Or do you think they'll roll out some sort of feature with OMI token? Rich is laughing. Hey, I had to say it, man. You know, man, the Foster and Randy sometimes, bro. I've been trying to tell them, I'm like, y'all need to just chill out. And hey, the token, just chill out on the token. Let it correct. Let it do its thing. The macroeconomics are important. You can't ignore what's going on in the economy, the world. There's global conflicts going on. You have to pay attention to this stuff. Like, people's comments, like being an influencer or like being a content creator or whatever, has responsibility. It really does. So, if you believe in the OMI token, fair, that's fine. But you just got to be careful, man. You got to be careful out there with your words, what you're saying. And this just kind of proves it, like, I've been saying this for a long time, but it was deemed as FUD, even though I feel like I protected more people and did a service to people more than not, right? Because ultimately I probably saved people, some cash, their hard-earned dollars. And that's where I think I'm different there on that end. It's helping people not remortgage their homes and not throw their diaper money, their life savings into something where it's not going to have any use case in the short term. Now, long term, of course, Gary Gensler, SEC put some regulation in there. Good, but right now, as like when you're looking at this objectively, then that's where I think you can make better decisions, right? So sometimes, this is hard though. This is hard. This is one of the hardest tokens to learn because they have NFTs associated with brands, and people get connected to brands, and people get excited about brands. People get really connected to their NFTs, like Sanjay, for example. He gets really connected, and it's hard. It's hard to like make a wise, rational decision around the token because you're so connected to the NFT side of it that you kind of just want to ape no matter what the price is, even though financially that probably doesn't make too much sense, right? Remortgaging your home like 2-3 times probably isn't the right move, right? If you're doing that, probably not the wisest thing to do. Most financial YouTubers or analysts or whatever advisors probably would tell you not to do that. Not financial advice. This is entertainment only, but that's just kind of like obvious, right? David's interview yesterday with Crypto Rain and Doc had some positivity regarding OMI right at the end, basically saying they're working on it. Yeah, I heard that. I think I listened into that one, hoping they release one thing new. I don't think they will. I don't think they will before Christmas. As positive as David and Dan get talking about OMI. I think they're doing rounds of interviews, maybe to showcase VeVeVerse to combat FUD. I think they're kind of trying to do their job, right? I don't think that they're just out there on, just randomly. I think that they're doing all these rounds of interviews, trying to get in front of people, trying to get excitement back. But I listened to a lot of the interviews. I didn't hear anything that was like solid, right? It was just like, hey, we're working on it. I talk about the token to VCs and some ideas. But at the end of the day, regulation is going to stop them from doing really anything. And that's where I think we have to be objective in that manner and kind of look at it in wisdom. Not financial advice, but yeah. What? I just remortgaged. Sound Money, you did not remortgage, man. Sound Money, man. He always cracking me up in the comments, man. over there on Twitter. But yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of opportunity out there, though. If I'm weighing kind of like what's out there, you got Bitcoin that was been on a tear. Ethereum might go on a tear. Solana's been on the tear. So you could have kind of like transitioned out of some of these tokens and gotten into some of these like blue chip tokens that have been doing really well. Avalanche, I think, is going to do really well here in the not so distant future as well. I think that's a sleeper. I think it's like way down from its all-time high. And that's like a gaming kind of token. And I think a lot of developers are going to build on Avalanche. And I think brands are going to go here eventually too. $20 and now it's at like $12. Actually, I think this doesn't even go back all the way. But I think Avalanche is undervalued. I think that's going to be a top 15 token, in my opinion. I think it's going to rival Polygon long term, just because there's subnets. And Polygon's at 7 billion. Avalanche are at 4. I think there's a few billion to go for Avalanche and beyond. I think it might even rival Cardano eventually. Could be a top 10. Storage up 30%. Oh yeah, Storage, man. I forgot. Storage, man. Storage. That's an OG, man. That's an OG token. Filecoin, Storage, Sia Coin. Remember Sia Coin? That used to be kind of a what was considered I'll just leave it at that, but yeah. OMI needs a new white paper that explains the new utility. That's how crypto works. You just don't buy crypto with no purpose unless it's a meme coin. Yeah, I agree. I think they need to update a lot of things. Remember when they put out that roadmap for Ecomi, and then they kind of rugged the entire OUP roadmap, and no content creator in the said anything about that? I saw like nobody said anything about that. Nobody said anything at the... and if you pointed it out, you're labeled like a fudster, which doesn't make sense. I'm like, if you're going to put out a roadmap with red rings and you're not fulfilling those duties, and you rug pull the entire OUP like portal, that's a little ridiculous. That's like people made decisions off of that. So I didn't like that. I didn't like that content creators didn't really cover it. That the bias is what is like been the bothersome thing. And I hate to be having this kind of stream right now. Because I've been an OG in the space, and I'm rooting for the VeVeVerse to do really well long term. And I think that they have something here, and I think that they could iterate. And that's what it's really all about, is iterating. As long as they can continue to iterate here, I think they'll be fine. If they can retain these core users here, they can be fine as well, and kind of survive the quote unquote bear market. But they got to quit doing these OUP portals and then rugging those portals. Like, just stop it. Just stop doing that. That's like making people ape into the OMI token, thinking that like, oh, just around the corner, there's going to be utility. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, just kidding. We rugged that entire portal and now there's no utility. And, if you say anything about it, it's FUD and it's toxic. I don't like that. I don't like that content creators are acting like that didn't happen, right? I know a lot of people don't want to talk about it, but it's just crazy. It's wild. Mitch Biweekly Cadence release has no updates since August. Yeah, and then Dan said he's going to be doing weekly updates on the VeVeVerse too. So that's another thing. Don't say all these things and then don't fulfill these duties and these things that you're telling everybody. That's what bothers me as somebody that like is an OG, right? I'm an OG, and you have new OGs, I would say, newer content creators that don't really have context like some of the other OGs. And I think there's like the OG battle versus the newer kind of content creators that you see sometimes. And then you have the over leveraged, of course, that like are bullish no matter what OMI does or, VV does. VV could announce like they're selling like toilet paper and then they'd be like heckin' bullish, like, I don't know. So you have that too. So you have to like really start being more objective thinking, I think, in the community. But yeah, like I do think that there could be a lot of opportunity. I think that there could be ways that they could implement drops. Like, I've always said like they should do, like go a hype beast model, where they drop, like skins in games and all that. That's kind of like obvious. That's what like already is happening in Web3 is you're starting to see like Ready Player Me. They're already dropping skins, already dropping NFTs that you can use as cosmetics in games already. That's already being done in the space. So that's not like exactly groundbreaking anymore. But Vivi could do that since they already have relationships with brands. They could go that model, that hype beast drop model, where like you have a specific drop. It's limited only for a certain amount of time, and you can only pick it up on this platform. And I think platforms are going to go in that direction. We've seen it a little bit with Engine, with that, Final Fantasy physical drop, and things like that. Obviously, you saw it with VV Funko, but so there's still opportunity out there. So don't get me wrong. I just wanted to point out like the objective takes versus like the super biased, like rah only, bullish all the time, even in a bear market. Like that's a little silly. People like back the truck up and buy OMI like all the way down to zero. Like that doesn't make any sense at all. These tokens have to have updates. They have to have roadmap updates. I've been in the space for a long time. All right. So I've been in the space long enough, and I used to follow Cardano. I used to follow their roadmap, and I used to see marked improvements. The good thing about Cardano back then, and granted, they've taken a long time to develop, and I still think that they need to show way more, is that they have an actual roadmap that they showcase exactly what they're doing, and they actually label their roadmap. They actually have like, this is the Shelly update, and it has all these like different improvements that they've done in that update, and they even have a countdown timer to that roadmap update. So that was a project back then that used to do that. I don't know if they do that anymore, but that's what I like to see in projects. And I think that these influencers and content creators aren't giving you context. Like they're like, oh, I've been in this space for a long time, and the token is down, so that means I'm going to invest into it. That doesn't make any sense. Like you have to have utility behind these tokens. Like with Solana, the reason why Solana is doing really well is they just had a huge, massive event around their developers showcasing what's being built on Solana. That is a good sign of a good developer base building a huge thing on Solana. You have Flowchain even. Flowchain has a lot of developers over there in Flowchain developing on Flow, different apps, different things, and developer community is pretty strong. And those are those like marked actual goalpost improvements that you can actually say, okay, I'm pretty comfortable in putting some money into this token because I see marked improvements. I see that where this is going, where these blockchains are going. And these content creators are just driving me nuts, saying like, oh, since it's like the token's not at an all-time high, you just need to buy it, like, because I've been in the space for long. That doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense at all. Anyways, that's an end rant. It's sad the VV core content creators have become gatekeepers for what can be talked about regarding the VV OMI. Been here since the start and love the idea of VV OMI, but it's all about execution. Yeah, I agree. Like that, like I feel like there should be more balance to the Force, like Star Wars. Like if there's not balance to the Force here, it's gonna go one way. You're gonna go like the Jedi, where you were clouded by the Sith Lord, and you're fighting pretty much for like Emperor Palpatine unknowingly, thinking you're doing like a service to the universe, and you're actually kind of the bad guys. And then you have like the bad side of it, where ultimately the Sith came to power because like the Jedi thought they were doing good. And I think because there's no balance to the Force, right? And that's what this whole like post era of Star Wars is trying to bring balance back to the Force, that there's so much dark side into it, people thinking that they're doing something good, trying to bring balance to the galaxy when they're just doing a bad service to literally everybody. And I think that's kind of like, you have to be balanced. You have to like come back and have quote unquote balance to the Force. Like, I don't know, like that's my terrible analogy on it, but you look at Ahsoka, the new series, it's all about balance. It's all about not being too one way or the other. You saw Anakin come back in the series. He had more balance this time around, and taught Ahsoka a little bit about that. And that's where like content is too. Like you can't just be so just one way all the time and pretending the sky isn't this, just pretending it's all sunshine and rainbows all the time. You got to be able to talk about both things. And I think that's where a lot of content creators are afraid of kind of losing views. We're losing subscribers, losing a little bit of community support. And I think that's unfortunate. I think that's pretty unfortunate. I'm lucky to have you guys in the chat right now, to be honest. 20 people here means a lot, really, in the bear market. Like, you guys mean the world to me. Like, whether you agree with me or not, you know, if you hated me for doing a video or two, but you're still here, I highly appreciate you guys for being here. Like, it means the world to me. And I know what I'm saying is controversial. I get it. I just had to get it off my chest, I guess. I don't know. Year-to-date average of 25 a day. We'll onboard 800 new by end of year, but we'll mint 150 new collectibles. Okay, not sure. Like, do you think? Okay, so I'm not really sure what you meant by that. Are you talking about onboarding new people into the VeVeVerse, or just minting more stuff? Not sure. 180 million market cap, 9 million NFTs. Average cost per collectible $20. Olivium and Star Atlas are so much more transparent with comms and leaks. It coming needs a reset. Yeah, I think so too. Okay, so if they can follow up with their comms, thanks, Richard. I appreciate that, man. Engine Coin, we'll get to that one. That Engine Coin, I think Engine Coin's a sleeper, man. I think people are sleeping on that one. We'll get to that one in just a moment. Okay, so yeah, 180 million. So yeah, Ecomi right now, I was saying in DMs, I think Ecomi above 200 million market cap was highly overvalued with zero utility other than just like slight little tiny burns in the app. You know, OMI to NFT is probably not going to come for a while, it sounds like, as well. Yeah, it's just, I think it's just a little overvalued. I think at 100 million, you're starting to come into maybe more reason there. I know people don't want to hear that. I know a lot of people are OMI bag holding and don't want to hear that, but yeah, I agree with Illuvium and Star Atlas are so much transparent with comms and leaks. Yeah. So I think if like they can do a Cardano model where they're updating roadmap and giving deadlines that actually make sense, or, you know, having marked improvements, and you don't have to just go to the app store and look at like, oh, they updated the app and this is what they did. Like, it would be nice if they actually had an update like somewhere, I don't know, in the Twitter, Discord, I don't know. But it'd be like nice to know what was going on, you know, and I think that's where people struggle, is like nobody knows really what's going on or when things are coming, and people are just like waiting around. Like, I'm just ready for the VeVeVerse, like been ready for 2 years. And I think people are just kind of tired. So yeah, I think they definitely can improve there for sure. But that's always been the case, I think, with VeVe, is like trying to figure out comms. But I think they'll probably ultimately get there for sure. Hey Kyle, what's your thoughts on Engine Coin? New user growth is disproportionately low to new collectibles being added. Yeah, that's another thing. Should they slow down their cadence of drops, or what do you guys think about that? Do you think that they should slow down the drops in perpetuity, or not in perpetuity, but in proportion with the amount of users? And should they correct edition sizes as well, and all that good stuff? I personally haven't been collecting on VeVe too much. I got some collectibles on there still, but I haven't really been doing too much collecting, even on some cool ones. It's just kind of expensive, you know, to continue to always do drops. So there has to be an economy of sorts going on in the app for me to continue, for it to make sense. On the date, like collecting master collectors, like I got to see where I can use these points at, right? I think a lot of people are kind of waiting on that. Daily gem purchases on drops are less than sell value of drop. Secondary floors dropping, cash is bleeding out. Flipping, yeah, flipping is okay as long as you are. Yeah, flipping's okay because people flip to get grails. People flip up. I think that like as long as you have a healthy flipping side with a healthy collecting side, I think things are fine. But when you don't have any like demand, you know, you're gonna see the prices kind of fall a little bit. But you know, I don't know. There's a balance to it all. You definitely need more users for sure, though. Dan emphatically stated that to have mint for the IP and to create stated the have to mint for IP and create purpose for OMI. I'm not sure if you what do you mean by that? Emphatically stated that have to mint for IP and create purpose for OMI. Yeah, but that's another thing too, though. If they're going to be roadblocked by regulation, they're not going to do it. They're never going to release it until its regulation is clear. So they can say all they want about that. I just don't think that with regulation that they can do that. Whereas if they were like a DAO, structured more like, ApeCoin DAO or things like that, they could probably have more wiggle room there. And maybe they should look at that. I think actually New Zealand and Australia are more lenient towards DAOs in general. They have to have mint for the IP and create purpose for, like you mean the burns, like the continue to drop collectible. I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah, that does make sense. Like, in order for OMI to continue to burn, they have to continue to do drops. So they're kind of stuck in this drop cycle where they have to continue to do drops. That's something to consider. I didn't think of that initially. That's a good point. So are they stuck in drops? Like, are they stuck in like the cadence because they have to keep burning OMI via drops? And they have to keep making money. There's got to be other ways for them to make money in revenue streams. I'm shocked that they haven't put out accessories yet for people in the VeVeVerse and things like that. Maybe they will here pretty soon. We'll see. Word for word in the interview was, if not producing collectibles, then what is the point of OMI? Wow, that's crazy. So I think that they have to earn money too, though. I think that's kind of I think that's the underlying like actual real message there that is not really spoken, is that they have to continue to do drops to make money. And that's kind of the purpose. And then sure, OMI holders get a benefit, a slight tiny burn of the token, but really VeVe has to make money. I think that's kind of really why they have to continue the drops. Inge, man, Inge. All right, let's take a look at this one. Inge is down 4% on the last 24 hours. They just released mainnet. Again, I guess they upgraded their contract, updated mainnet. Looks like it's losing a little steam here. Let's see here. It's gone up, though, quite a bit. 25 cents to 29 cents in the last 14 days. And has done really well in the last 30. So yeah, not bad price action there. A little bit more excitement around Inge. Fuel Tank's going live in December, and it's time to celebrate. That's why Engine blockchain transactions will be free for 3 months. Interesting. Okay, I'm not really sure what free fuel tanks are, but I know Taps was big into Inge. He liked Inge. Taps trades. He liked Inge. I did Inge an Inge video like 5 years ago. That's how old I am in crypto. I did. I don't even know if Engine wasn't even out. Like they didn't even like have their own token, like their own native token. I think that had been ERC20 for a long time, I think. But yeah, you can see that they've just updated their subscan for the Engine blockchain, just got updated. They got more stuff going on. I think we're going to see a lot more activity on Engine coin. I think that's definitely one to put on the radar for sure. Given that they're OGs in the space, and let's see, where are they at even? Where are they ranked? Engine. So the 134, see market cap, 300 mil. I think could be $1 billion coin easy, a 10 billion. I think that could be one to definitely put on there. I'm going to put that one on the radar for sure. Engine's always on my radar because I feel like since they are OGs, they could do a lot. I mean, they're ranked above Ronin. Ronin's been around for a while, and they have actual Axie Infinity popped off. So, I mean, Enge's got potential. Don't sleep on Enge. All right, let's see. Let's go back to the chat here. We should be able to make our own accessories using Cavernous, and the accessories won't use OMI, but we use MCP. I don't know, man. Shouldn't there be both, though? Both, like, you should have accessories you could spend MCP points on, and you should be able to buy with OMI. I mean, maybe not. Maybe, I don't know. I know that they've said that, like, you can, yeah. Have you seen the Earth 2 demo? That's what I was expecting for VeVe. I haven't seen the Earth 2 demo, no. Where should I look it up at? You can't post a link in the comments because it'll block it, but if you like space it out, I can probably take a look at it and show it out here on the stream. Supply max. I earned some free Coinbase by taking a quiz. LOL. Oh, engine. I earned some free in coin. Okay, yeah. So yeah, Coinbase quizzes are pretty cool because you can always earn like 5 or 10, and sometimes those tokens go up in price and they're worth like 20, 40. So sometimes it's like good to do those little quizzes in Coinbase. But why do VV and OMI have to be mutually exclusive? Months go by with no change for OMI and makes it you wonder what could possibly take that long, especially with a specific OMI blockchain team. I'm not sure, man. I'm not really sure. Not sure what's taking so long. I'm not sure what's taking so long in general, just with all the updates and what's going on. Now, I do think that the app has had marked improvements, but those were some of the features we should have gotten already. Granted that like they're finally being updated, so that is good. But it's just like, I don't know. You have to wait a little bit on that. I would like to see if they really do have over 100 employees. I would like to see a little bit more activity, more updates, and more things going on, and more like what's going on in general, and like what's, more articles being released around some of the updates. So that's where I'm kind of like wishing that there would be more communication on that end. It'd be nice to know too, like where these teams are. Like, we have a team of 40 doing this. We have a team of 10 people doing this. We have a team of contractors. Like, it'd be nice to know a little bit more. It seems like they're just so secretive all the time, and we just don't know what's going on. But yeah, that's all I got for the stream. I know this wasn't like the best bullish stream, and that you probably heard, so I do apologize. But I just wanted to do this one on an update, kind of like a just unbiased, objective take on it. Just kind of get mixed reviews from around the community. Some people are excited, some people are not. I feel like at this point it's 50-50. Mostly is what I've seen. They're also going to drop cryptocurrency that people are already generating. Not really sure. Oh, you mean Earth 2. Okay. Are you talking about Earth 2? Not really sure. All right. So that's all I got for this one. Let me know in the comments down below. Are you excited about the VeVeVerse? Do you think this is just the initial, I guess, tip of the iceberg, and you'll see, improvements in the VeVeVerse long term and where things are going? Or do you think there's just going to be too much competition out there in the wider metaverse space, and other competitors like moving up? And yeah, what's your thoughts on all this? There's two sides to the stone here, whether you're like super long term on all this, or maybe you're seeing this as more of an opportunity cost and getting into some other projects out there. Very curious what everybody thinks in the comments, like watching the replay. Definitely curious. I'd love to do some more videos on other projects as well. I know Engine, I might have to look into that one a little bit more. Comment what other tokens projects you guys are looking at and you want me to look at and feature here on the stream and on the channel. But with that being said, be like an NFT, be authentic, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Diamond hands, had on hella bands, I invest money very off. Tiptoe with this crypto, feel like Jim Jones where I'm ballin'. Big whale, I make money moves in that open sea, you a dolphin. Rest in peace to the paper head, green candle, put him in a coffin. We at an all-time high, partying in Dubai. We breaking out of the sky, moonshot when we fly, yo. Paper hand just might cry, price still blow your mind. Won't let it pass me by, we on an all-time high, yo. We at an all-time high, partying in Dubai. We breaking out of the sky, moonshot when we fly, yo. Paper hand just might cry, price still blow your mind. Won't let it pass me by. We on the all-time high. Yeah.
Hey, it's a cold world, better bundle up. Couple flips, I'm 100 up. I don't even need a jacket on this side. Every day the sun is up. Look, I can show you how to really run it up. Talking big money, get your duffel up. They clapping hands by the couple bands. That's small money, you ain't done enough. My crypto boom and call it perfect timing. I ain't even hurting nine. It's them broke days seem so far, and I'm so sharp I could cut a diamond. Just at the Virgin Islands, about to hit the Emirates. You know we wildin'. Them broke boys spreading FUD talk. Don't make me laugh, ain't even worth the comment. Nah, tell me how that sound to bosses. Celebrate wins and we learn from losses. Look, I ain't even capping. Need on the dental practice how much we flossing. Yeah, been around the block. This ain't nothing new, but we do this often. I walk the walk, and if money talks, then my crypto wallet's gotta be monologuing. Ball out soon as my flight lands. Blue water, white sand, sitting short side with the whole fam, just vibing out, catching a light tan. Hustle strong, don't hustle wrong. Wanna see success, you found the right man. But please excuse me, we can talk later, cause at the moment got Dubai plans on.